What's up, everybody? It's me, Mr. Gladys, and welcome back to the channel. In case it's the first time you're watching my videos, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. So, yeah, today I'm going to share a very old experience of mine back in school. I think that was 2022. Yeah, 2022, 2021, around the side. So, back in school, this is about a worst experience I ever had in school. So I'm going to explain everything vividly to you. It was a fight actually that happened between a friend of a mate of mine. Yeah, also a close brother of mine. Yeah. So back in school, we used to work like in gang, like we boys, like when we are going to the cafeteria or the canteen, you could see we the guys like 8 boys, like we always used to work in groups. Yeah, that was back in senior high school. So there was one time that um I was talking to my friends. We were in class. Yeah, we were talking, we were having a discussion, and then it was break. So um we were already done with class, and we had to move to break. So as we were talking with my friends, I realized that they were like, one of our friend outside is in another class, is having an argument. I think they were even having a fight. So we were like, who is that person? Because we didn't know who the person was. So we had to go and check who that was, because it was a fight. Everybody was making noise and a whole lot. So when we went, we realized who the person was. It was one of our mates who was in an argument with him, and it wasn't actually his fault. He was trying to ask for something, and the guy was like he should get out of his class, which was inappropriate. So when we saw them fighting like that, honestly, our mate actually beat the guy. He actually beat him. He's called Alfred. So when we noticed they were fighting, like we knew it wasn't a good thing. It would, when the authorities, school authorities come, the teachers and stuff, it will be a very like big case. So we were like, let's just separate all these things. So we tried to like separate the fight and all that, and the guy was pissed because everybody was like, oh, they've beaten him, he'll not stop fighting, he's still trying to act like he's tough and all that. So yeah, so I think he left the class, and he went to um he jumped the wall. He went to call some tax. Where we were schooling, it was like a slum. Yeah, it was like a slum. Not, let's say the school itself isn't a slum, but like at the back of the school and all that was like, is this ghetto lifestyle. Yeah, this tag lifestyle. Yeah, it's actually more populated there. So yeah, so as I said, he jumped the wall, and he went outside to call his friends who were tags. Those people, when you call them that something has happened, they are ready to fight, they are ready to do anything. We knew something like that will happen, but it wasn't during school time. We knew it will come up maybe closing after school. So immediately I had a brother called Prince, yeah, a close brother of mine called Prince in school. He told Alfred, who was also my mate, that he should hurry up and go home, because definitely they'll bring a lot of squad to come and fight him. And he was actually right. So when we closed, Prince went to escort him to the bus station to board a car so he could go home. Yeah, so he left home, and the guy, when we were separating the fight, the guy actually saw my face. Yeah, he actually saw my face, so he knows my face. Fast forward, Prince escorted him. He went home. Later, Prince also left home, and I and some friends and some ladies too. We were going home. We came out of the school. We saw the guys, they were around because the teachers were around. People already told the teachers that there are tag boys around who wants to fight with some student. So me, because I know I didn't fight, I wasn't the one fighting with him. I didn't really care about what was going on. So later, the guy told the tag boys that I was part of those who were beating him. So they came questioning. I was like, no. And then I had this housemaster with me, the school housemaster with me, and some few teachers with me. I was with them when everything was happening, and I was like, no, I have no idea about that. They were fighting, and we just tried to separate them. I never hit him. I never did anything to him. He was like, no, I was part of them. I also punched him. I was like, no, I didn't do anything to you. You should go and ask their witnesses who could like provide answers if I actually hit him. I never did anything like that. So the boys were like, okay, and the teachers were like, they should leave here. So they left, went to hide somewhere else. So when I and my friends and some of my yeah, I and my friends were going home, there was this Johnson counter. They were buying booking at that junction. So when we go to that junction, we noticed that the boys were coming. And me, I didn't care because me, I didn't fight. I didn't do anything to this guy. So now when they came to me. About 15 to 18 boys. They called me and I came. I thought they wanted me to explain something to them. So I came to listen to what they were actually coming to ask me. Then all of a sudden, they just surrounded me. All the guys just surrounded me. I was like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Then they started asking me questions. Why did I beat? I was like, yo, I never touched this guy. I never fought with him. I have no grudge or anything why I should, or I have no disagreements with him to the extent of me going to fight with him. So I know nothing about that fight. I just noticed that they were fighting, and I and my friend tried to separate. And the person who he fought with is even gone home. They were not trying to understand because it was their friend, so they were trying to still like do something to hurt me. So there was one guy, all of a sudden, I was just trying to talk to them that I'm not the person. Then a slap just came from behind. Man, I just received a slap. Pa! And I turned to look at who slapped me. I wasn't fast enough to see, so I didn't see the person who slapped me. But I knew there would be a second slap, so I was actually waiting for the second slap to come. So I was there, we were still talking. Then the second slap came, and I turned directly to where the slap came from. It came from my left side, so I turned and I saw the guy. I was already pissed about the first slap because I didn't do anything. So when the second slap came, I was very angry. I was already gingered to retaliate. So when the second slap came, and I told the guy that it's just funny how they are in groups. If he thinks he's strong and not because of the gang he's with, he should come, let's fight one on one. I'll beat him and even kill him. Then when I said that, the other members of the gang got mad. And honestly speaking too, I would have, if I should fight with that guy, I'll beat him. I'll beat him seriously. Then the other gang, since they got angry at what I said, I didn't know they had weapons on them. Some people took fork, some people took knife, scissors, and a whole lot. Then there was this one guy who was their gang leader. He was actually a senior in in my school. Yeah, he was actually a senior. So he was like, he told them all of them to hold on. Then he called me. He pulled me out of them, and he called me that what I said wasn't good. I shouldn't have said that. If it were to be some people, they would have stabbed me with their scissors and fork and knife and just leave me there. And I told him that they aren't listening to me. I told them very well, I'm not part of this. I just separated them so that they wouldn't be a victim to the teachers. Because in my school, either they take you to, they make police come and arrest you. You go to cell, or you are being taken to DC to write a statement, as in this disciplinary committee, yeah, to You give your statement and they choose to do what to do with you. And my mate was part. So I was like, no, 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 no. It's best we just separate and everything just ends there like that. So that's why I involved myself in the separation of the fight. Then now when I told him, I was like, even if I'm right, I still shouldn't have said that. I was like, no, so does he expect, they already gave me a first slap and a second slap. Does he expect me to just stay there for them to hate me? I was like, no, I'm already speaking out and they are not listening to me. What does he expect? I'm not that kind of subs boy that I can't stand on my own. I can't stand my grounds. I did nothing wrong. You guys don't have the right to hate me. I need to talk. Do you understand? Yeah, and it was like, but I shouldn't do that. I was like, okay, fine, I'm sorry I said that, but they shouldn't come at me because I'm not the one who was in the fight with him. So later, the gang leader told the guy who slapped me to come and apologize, but he didn't. And when he came to me, he just said, "Yo, I should just forget about everything." I was like, "No, you can't just slap me and not apologize and just tell me forget about everything." I told him again, honestly speaking, if it were to be a fight between he and I would have beaten him seriously. I would have beaten him seriously. And he just smiled. He knows it's true. So he just smiled and he didn't say anything. Then I think they left. So I also left. I was heading home. And funny enough, the people I was working with, they were just standing on one side, they were just standing somewhere because they couldn't even do anything. And there were guys too included. Because they were scared, they were also just standing somewhere else and I was being involved in all this. That's one of the craziest, like the worst school experience of mine. Like it was really crazy. If I hadn't stood my ground, maybe I don't think I might be alive today because those guys are very like dangerous. They do a lot of crazy stuff. Some of them take in things, so they are not really aware of what they are doing. Sometimes they are aware, but they just because it's their friend who was being hit, they just want to retaliate and hit you back. So yeah, that was one of the craziest experience um I ever had in back in JHS. Let me know your experience as well, so you can comment your experience. Let me know how your experience back in school was. In case you find this video very interesting, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this channel. I'll be bringing more life experiences here. I'll be bringing more stories I have faced. These aren't lies. They aren't stories that are not true. These are real life stories that I myself have experienced personally. So I'll be bringing more of this to you. So I hope you enjoy this. See you on the next video. Let's go.